So in the last video of my basement workroom 3D printing space kind of workaround, rebuild, whatever, I set this up, which I'm very happy with. It's great. But now I need to focus on 3D printers because I need them to be able to accomplish the workroom stuff that I have planned. Right now, my 3D printer room is made up of 3 3D printers. I have an A1 Mini, I have a AnkerMake M5C, and I have a FlashForge M5 or 5M, I forget which one it is. But they're great, I love them, but I need to expand, and I need to expand quickly. So expand I will! So yeah, I'm going to be expanding a bit. I have 2 more A1 Minis that I really love, but I'm going to use these for single color production stuff that I can just kind of rattle off and go with. I find that the giant build plates I don't need all that often, and I already have a multicolor one of these with the AMS light. So these are just single color. That's all I'm planning on using them for. I like them because they don't use much power. They take up a small footprint, and they are really reliable machines. And then I got the big guy. This is a P1S by Bamboo Lab as well. It has the built-in AMS, or I guess the attached AMS. This is my first time going to be owning one of these printers. I only have experience with the AMS Lite, but I need it multicolor, bigger than what this could do. There's a few options out there right now, but I generally like how Bamboo does stuff, so I'm going to try that out, and if I need to, there are other options out there. FlashForge makes a really good one. There's Creality ones out there now that are enormous to 2 colors as well. But I'm pretty happy with this setup. This is going to basically double the size of my print farm, and then I can really get rolling with what I want to do with it. All right, so I moved the AMS down here like I planned. It's taking up a little bit more room left to right. I was hoping to keep this where it's at, but this area seems pretty tight. So I may have to move that back behind like I had it before, but this guy can definitely move up in this area. This guy's going to come with me to school, and then I'll have the P1S up here next to my FlashForge. So I'm going to unbox the other 2 A1 Minis, get them set up, and then I'll do the P1S, get that set up. This guy's going with me when I go back to school, and then we should be in real good shape. But I like how it's coming together. I originally thought I was going to have to drill a hole in the top of this because my power outlet back here, the cord all the way down from this guy is really short and doesn't reach. I have a small power outlet there. I'm going to replace that with a beefier one, but for now it's fine, and I just want to make sure everything's working, and then we'll go from there. Now it's been like a year and a half since I set one of these up, so I'm going to go through the instructions and try to remember how to do everything. I know that there's a screw set back here I need to remove. I need to install the wiper. I need to install the little slidey tower thing that goes to hold the spool. Although I did print one that can go up here if I wanted to. But I think with the depth that I have, that's not really going to be necessary. I could always do that later if I wanted to, but for right now, I think I'm going to leave it as is. And I just need to remember what the heck I do so I can do it again. All right, now it's time for the big one. We got the other ones running. They're printing right now. They're going through the little benchy run test. This is what I'm really excited about. I already know what the A1 Mini can do, what it's can't, all that stuff. I want to see this thing. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really happy that I have the chance to have one. So let's open it up, build it, get everything set, and we'll get the print farm finally completed here. I think it's going to be easier to put this on the ground and then lift it out of the box and then put it up here. So that's what I'm going to do. Bear with me for a moment. All right, yeah, that was way easier. And taking a look here, the thing is crazy well packaged. Bubble wraps forever. And then there's actually 3 rolls of filament at the bottom here, it looks like. So we have, let's see, this is PLA Basic. It looks like it's probably about 250 grams, a green, orange, and a white. Very cool. Happy to have these. The only thing I don't like about these are not, I don't think these are reusable spools. So for things like cardboard spools and all that stuff. I need to print some bumpers because there's some problems with that from what I've read. I'll find out, I'm sure, but let's go ahead and get the rest of this thing opened up and figure out what exactly we have here. So we have our quick start guide on the top, which I am absolutely going to need to have. I am not undoing anything until I look at the quick start guide because there's glass, there's things going on. I don't know what's going on with this, so I need to figure that all out, and we'll get on that in a second here. Let's take a look at our manual and see what we have exactly to deal with. All right, it says step 1 is take out the accessory box. So I'm gonna have to remove this tape, it looks like. That was louder than I anticipated. And lift this glass up. There's some 3M on there. I'm not sure what that's for, but this is glass, so I'm gonna put it in a safe spot, and then we'll file the rest of the stuff here. All right, accessory box is right there. That's a hefty accessory box compared to what comes with the A1 Mini there. All right, then it says we need to take out the AMS. So this is the original AMS. There is a second one out now. This is not the AMS Lite. It's the original AMS, kind of the thing that put bamboo on the map. So we'll get this guy out of there, and says we just have to lift it straight up. All right, looks like we have to get rid of some of this foam here first so that it will actually move straight up. This thing is shockingly well packaged. Like, holy goodness. It's actually hard to get everything out of here because of how well it's all jammed in there. All right, but now we have that, I think. Oh no, we have screws that we need to get out. Reading is good. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm assuming these 3M little sticky things are just so that stuff doesn't get bashed around too much, but maybe they're for something else, so I'll make sure to hold on to them. Let's get this tape off on the side here. Just a heads up, there's a door in front of this. If you don't hold that door shut, it wants to pull it off. And I don't know if you torque that too much, if it will shatter or anything like that. So I'm gonna just be super careful with that part of it. Making sure I'm holding that as I transition around the corner there. There we go. And then we have a couple of hex bolts that we need to go out here. I'm hoping this uses the same hex wrench as our A1 Mini. It does. Awesome. So we'll loosen up the 2 screws on the back that are holding that whole thing down. All right, so I have that. I should be able to lift this out now without any problems. Wow, it's also way lighter than I thought it would be. But this is our AMS, and there are about 700 Bowden tubes that we need to route eventually here. But let's go ahead and get the printer itself set up first. There's little red arrows which really help you identify which one's what, because there are some other visible screws that you definitely don't want to be removing. But all of these are in a black plastic housing that have red arrows pointing directly at them. It's very clear what's what. And there's also a screw in the back. So there's 4 on a plastic kind of sled that held the AMS, and also are covering the print bed, which come out shockingly easily. They're not super tight in there. There's more than enough space to work, but there's also one in the very back that you need to make sure you get. And then the actual print bed is held down with 3 screws, 1 in the back and 1 on each side, basically wherever the lead screws are for the carriage, the XY carriage to go up and down, or the Z carriage, excuse me. That will go ahead and get that set. We have a little foam inside of there with a little poop chute thing. Cool. That's back here is a little poop chute. And then we need to go ahead and get the screen installed. So our screen is found inside of this giant box of accessories. I'm sure if you don't have the hex stuff, it's all in there. We have our power cables. This is our AMS. So we have our AMS cable, our power cable. Don't know. Oh, this is our spool holder in the back. If we didn't have the AMS, I don't need that. We have a hot end. And then here is the screen. And then underneath there's some lubrication and tools and stuff and all of that. So we'll get that all installed and set up here, and we'll see what's what here in just a moment. All right, so there's our screen, and on the back there's a little connector that lines up with the connector on here. It only goes in one way, so it's not like it's super tough to figure out. There's a little piece of tape holding the connector cable or the ribbon cable on there. All you have to do is take that off, and then you're gonna plug this in. This is not made for people with big fingers or big hands, because it's teeny tiny, and I am struggling to get that in there, but I'll get it, don't worry. There we go. All right, and then that's gonna clip onto the front. All right, we got the screen installed. I'll pull up the little thing. There's also a SD port here, which left residue on it. Not thrilled with that, but that's okay. We'll get that. then we have to go into our next steps and see what exactly we need to do for this thing. All right, so it looks like we're just gonna power it up and scan the code, and then we'll add on the AMS and all of that. I'm gonna get rid of this plastic and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so the next thing it says to do is fire it up, and then it talks about the AMS after that. So I'm gonna fire it up here. We'll get that ready to go. We'll get it registered with our Bamboo Handy app, and we'll see what the next steps are. I love how this looks though. It looks like I know what I'm doing, and I most definitely do not. So yay me. And this is the first print off of my new machine. It's a little bit older filament, so it's strung out a little bit more, but my second machine printed blue, and it printed beautifully. There is absolutely almost no stringing on it. It looks great, layer lines are there, and I didn't have to do anything to this. I'm real happy. I'm still waiting on the P1S to finish up, but we're gonna check out what we're gonna do with that next time.